Hello, happy Monday. I want to take a quick moment to go over our warm-up. The warm-up stated that on our food truck we would be selling a hamburger and the cost would be $5. And we wanted to know what portion of this is for the ingredients and what portion is going to be considered profit. The 80-20 rule states that 80% of whatever we're charging should go in our pocket, 20% should go towards the materials. So what is the best way to do this? I mean, you can take $5 and you can multiply it by 0.2 to figure out what 20% is, and take $5 and multiply it by 0.8 to find out what 80% is. But really, when I think about it, if I divide $5 by 5, that's $1. $1 represents 20%, because if I think to myself how many 20% go into 100, 5 of them do. So $1 equals 20%. Now that we know that $1 of this should be part of the ingredients, and 20% times 4 is 80, so we would say that $4 of that is profit. Next thing is we are looking at our books. You were tasked last week with trying to price out the cost of all of the ingredients that go into each of your menu options. So this is a different theme. I'm trying to come up with different thoughts. If you broke down how much something would cost, you would literally go online and try to find the item and then divide it for example, I looked at these soy sauce packets online. You can buy a box of soy sauce packets. It has 450 packets, and it was $8.49 for a case. So I took $8.49 and I divided it by 450, and I found out that soy sauce packets, when it comes down to it, are 2 cents each. That being said, then you're going to add all of these things up: 4, 5, 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I say to myself, this is an 89-cent cost. So in order for me to figure out what the real cost of this is, I actually have to multiply this by 5, because if that's 20%, then I would need to multiply that by 5 to get to 100%. So going into decimal, if I say 0.89 times 5, $4.45. Now, human psychology tells me that I should probably charge $4.50. There's something about a zero in a price that makes somebody feel like they are spending less. Here, if I say this 1, 0, 2, 3, 4, 80 cents, if I multiply that by 5, this one should be $4. So hopefully you've gotten this stuff completed, and if you don't, you have to do this before you can go on to the next step. 5, 6, 7, 1, $1.14. Multiply that by 5. Not a pretty number. Doesn't surprise me that the shrimp ones, this would be $5.70. I probably would round that up and charge $6. The veggie egg roll, 45, 55, 60. 60 plus $4, that's $1. What? So this would be a $5. That was nice. That was nice and easy. Okay, so you know how much you're going to charge for each of your portions. I have sticky rice also. 15 cents divided or multiplied by 5 is 75 cents. I would probably go with $2. It still seems like a good price for rice, even though I am increasing my profits by more than the 80-20 rule. You can bend that rule as long as it means more money in your pocket. Now, here is our menu. Let's talk about what my food truck is. It is a fusion of American, Asian cuisine. And right now, for an appetizer, I know that we have the sticky rice, and this is pretty simple. Small cup of sticky rice, and I know that we came up with that price to be $2. Okay, that's something. Entrees. These are my egg rolls. Now, I am going to break these down underneath. So I have the pizza egg roll, I have the pork egg roll, the shrimp egg roll, and I have the veggie egg roll. And the prices I came up with are $4.50, $4.65. Okay. And then it says sides. I honestly think I need to change sticky rice and make it a side and not an appetizer. So sticky rice, and that is going to be $2. Now, I wasn't thinking of having a dessert, but now that I see this, I think it would be kind of cool to have like a churro egg roll. And I would have to go back and price out what that would be. And I'm just going to imagine I did. And the price of this came out to be $5. And like I said, the description in here, if it's not obvious about what you're doing, you're going to want to write a little something. My drinks are going to be water and soda cans. And again, water and soda probably wouldn't be the same price. I would have to make sure I was pricing this out. This may or may not be something of a community service thing when it comes to cost. I don't think the 20/80 rule is going to really sell you a lot of waters, but at the same time, you're not putting a ton of time into the drinks, but it's kind of a thing you're going to offer because people are going to want it. That's what you are doing today. If you end up getting done with that rather quickly, I want you to start to glance over this portion where it talks about promoting on social media. This is going to be the next thing that we're going to be tackling. I find this stuff to be extremely interesting, but you just want to take a look at it and get some ideas. Don't fill this out yet because I want to make sure we do that together. You definitely should have your menu done, and that is that. Now, one other thing I wanted to talk about starting next week, we have very limited number of weeks left. If I look at our calendar, this is how it's looking. So this week we have 4 days. We're going to finish our food truck project this week. Next week we are going to start with review and portions of the final. So next week we will be reviewing and taking a small part of the final, and that is based on checking accounts and reconciling checking accounts. The week after that, we're going to be reviewing and having a small portion of the final. This is going to be looking at taxes and filing taxes and all that great stuff. June 9th through the 13th, we're going to have the review and final. This is the last portion. This will cover things like the DMV, insurance, and budgets, things like that. So I'm going to do my best to make this an easy, good balance, not stressful. I don't want it to be stressful for you, but just so you know, I mean, you add that up, 5, 10, 18, 19 actual school days left. So we're winding down. Now is the time to gear up. Please work productively today, and I will see you tomorrow.